Go!
All right, y'all. So this is going to be a Ace podcast special. I guess to either close out the year or open up next year whenever I decide to put this out, because I still need to finish editing the other two because they're very long. Aaron knows, he was there for it. But I'm your host, Will the Greatest. Welcome to the Ace podcast. With me, I have my regular co-host, Aaron. Say what's up, Aaron.
This is, I think, our first time doing on video form together, so it should be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, you use up some of that time that I got for the freebie, but we also have a guest with us, friend of the show, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Rap Critic.
They don't call me the main man for nothing. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man?
What's happening? Look, I'm chilling here in Texas, man. Everything's big in Texas, and I'm seeing that for myself. You know what I'm saying? Big open skies, big ass buildings, big highways, for God's sake. But yeah, I'm gonna be going back to Maryland in a couple of days. But I wanted to chill here right before the travel and like get this conversation out the way. I was just visiting with family and stuff like that, so that was nice. Nice down home Texas Christmas where it's really just kind of warm. So
I mean, that's what we got here,
dude. I'm living like Macaulay Culkin if he actually in Home Alone went down to the Florida vacation and just had the warm fucking Christmas. Like, what the fuck was wrong with that? Like,
it's rainy here.
Like, what the hell was? Oh yeah, true. It was rainy. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's rainy where I'm at. Yeah, it's actually funny. We're finagling this recording from all three coasts of America.
That's right.
This is a fully national.
East-West represent. What was that fucking song from the Don't Be Mad South Central? It's like they said something like East-West Coast Connect, something like that.
You already did. Don't be a menace.
Swanging them things. A ton of gangbangs. Keith Murray, UGK, and oh my Lord, Jamal. Because from the east to the west, up north to the down south, live wires connect. We be swanging them things. Because it was Keith Murray and UGK. Like, that's actually a pretty big fucking deal for like the early 90s, mid 90s. Like,
I'm impressed you remember, because I do remember it as you like began spitting. I'm like, I do remember, because there was like the joints was bouncing and everything. So
yeah.
How are y'all doing today? I guess before we hop into the party topics, we're doing a little chronology journey today. But how are we doing this fine Wednesday evening? Because I'm developing a timeline of sorts.
Yeah. I think it's funny because we're all in different coasts, which means different time zones. So right now it's like 3:45 for me. So it's like we chilling over here. But I'm doing. Yeah, bro, I'm doing good. Like the Christmas season was a lot of fun. We had to have like a nice little intimate Christmas with the main fam or with the immediate family, and took my sisters to brunch. Had some shrimp and grits and some omelets and whatnot. Highly delicious. Also had some. You probably like this. Had some cinnamon toast French toast. Roll French toast. There we go.
Oh, okay. That sounds delightful. Honestly, that sounds delicious.
Legit, my mouth.
Delicioso. DJ, how you doing, man?
Ooh-wee. Dude, I am chilling, man. I like I said, just had a great time with my family. It was like one of those things where like, oh man, I've been doing things like by my dolo for so long, and then going to just like hang out with the family for a bit and just being like, man, I enjoy this, catching up with people, talking to the nephews, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure they like,
being hip to the game,
don't grow up to be bad people, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to like be like, hey, don't do that. People will think you're a bad person if you do that,
Try to teach them well and let them lead the way.
Exactly, the BMU, the you will know.
Oh my God, you will know.
And then I think I hooked up my family. That's what I did. Like, so for Christmas, I was just like, what can I do that can actually be practical for people? And I just gave everyone like Spotify premium.
Cool.
So I was like, okay, here's the like cheapest but most efficient, cool thing I could do. Because I realized they didn't have it. Because they were like, I was like, yo, y'all ain't got Spotify. What are you listening to music on? Oh, on YouTube, and then it goes to the ad, and I'm like, join the 21st century, family. Like, you can just listen to music without ads these days. You know that, right?
That YouTube Music has a Wrapped.
Really? What?
Like an end of year. And the only reason I know
Oh
my
wow.
oldest nephew, who is funny enough downstairs with the rest.
I gotta see what songs I could have possibly
Yeah,
been listening to on
he,
there.
he's like, oh, what's on your YouTube Wrapped? I'm like, what are you talking about, YouTube Wrapped? And he's like showed it to me and broke it down. I'm like, how long has the? I know they collect your data, but how long have they
Yeah,
been
right.
doing
Like,
this?
what
He
are they
wants to be
collecting
every
on?
other
Where are they
platform
going?
so
didn't
bad.
know.
Them and Instagram really were trying to be every.
Right.
Like, dang, we get
The
like y'all ain't
copycat
TikTok. Wait,
expert.
you got Reels now. You got Spotify Wrapped.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Right.
They're trying to be Netflix for a second.
Oh my God. Who even?
Yeah, I'm
Oh my God,
very
right?
particularly curating my Threads algorithm with the times when I almost never use it. But anyways,
Yeah. Let's talk about hip hop.
let's talk about
50th
rap music. So
anniversary.
rap has turned 50 this year, and I would like to believe that, given our particular hair texture and styles, we are all connoisseurs of the genre.
One could assume.
Lots of don't listen to hip hop or neo soul. I can't save you, but what I kind of wanted to do today is actually go through and have kind of mini talks about the decades as they were, with it being the like demi-centennial or what have you for hip hop, with it being 50. So hip hop starts 50 years ago. That would put it at 73. So I think DJ, when we were talking about we initially I got this idea from a conversation we had before we reviewed Doja Cat's Scarlet, and I'm like, that's a really good topic, and we really need to make that an actual conversation. So 73 to like 80, what would you kind of say that is? That's very much like, I think, the birth, early onset hip hop.
Like the proto hip hop years.
Everybody's
it's like
the sound, because it was, what were the four pillars? It was MC, DJ, breakboard, B-boys, and
B-boys and graffiti.
Yeah, B-boys and graffiti. So those are the four pillars of hip hop, which we have since abandoned. But we got.
Well, I mean, you could say turntabling. Wait. What did we say? We said rapping, breakdancing, graffiti,
and yeah. So you got master of ceremonies, DJ, B-boy,
DJ. Yeah, sorry, I messed it. Yeah, he was right. So, and yeah, I'm checking Wikipedia just to be like, are we on the mark here? And I'm looking, 73 to about 79. That's what they say is like the years, before records were really like hip hop records were a thing, right? It was like
everybody was remixing old jazz joints and James Brown music and whatnot. It was block party galore. So that's
block party routine. So it would be like, yo, me and my group of 5 dudes, I gotta rap, and then that guy's gotta rap. And usually what they would do is be like, they would parody songs of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was kind of how they would start off. It would be like, there would be like some 70s song. What's the 70s song? The Bee Gees brothers, staying alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're keeping the party staying alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably do something like that just to do like a cheap, fun little flip or something like that, right? But what I think is funny, so I've been doing this thing for the 50th anniversary sort of thing, where I've been live streaming from 1980 and going like all the way to now, like what I think is the best songs from the year. And what annoyed me is the reason why I initially wanted to do it was because I looked up Spotify's playlists. They're like, here's the 50th anniversary of Spotify, or let's go through all the years. And it only went back to 1987. And I was like, okay, I get it. We can't go back all the way to 1973, but like 87, I was like, what? Run DMC wasn't doing nothing before then? What? You know what I'm saying? Curtis Blow wasn't around.
That's how you realize
I've taken it upon myself. Right. So I've taken it upon myself to go back to 1980, starting with like the Rapture. Like these are songs that people still remember, like Rapture by Blondie.
We had talked about Rapture before your episode. We were talking about everything, and when you're going through the backstory and I was reading through it, I'm just like, this is utterly like, because Rapture is like such a, almost, I would argue, seminal song for the history of hip hop. And then when you actually kind of hold it under the magnifying glass of analysis, Aaron, have you heard Rapture by Debbie Harry before? Where it's so remember the song Soldier Boy was doing?
Soldier Boy. Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ spinning, I said my. Flash is fast, Flash is cool. Francois Sabah, Flash ain't no dude.
that goofy rap song, Fab Five Freddy said, my. Came and said, everybody's fly. It was like, fly, Fab is flash,
Yeah.
fast, it's cool.
That is like lyric for lyric how the song
That
actually
is
goes.
by Debbie Harry from the band Blondie, which is from the rock band Blondie.
Yeah.
And that song did gangbuster.
Wait, have you not heard it at all? Have you not heard it at all?
You might have heard it and not known you heard it.
Okay, wait, yeah. Maybe we could take a second, show you the song just to have your live reaction for the first like couple of seconds. You're like, what's happening? And then I the rap part, so you can be like,
because I can share my screen. So hold up.
Oh, awesome! Because this will be fun. Because what's funny about this is that like as much as we're like, oh man, this is so goofy and this is so dumb. Like as much as it definitely was still goofy and dumb. Like this chick, basically, Debbie Harry, she was part of the punk scene, and her whole thing was that like, you know, we're bucking all trends of music genre. Like, you know, whatever black music is, whatever white music is, whatever uptown, lowtown, whatever music is, I don't care. We're mixing it all together and just seeing what comes out because like, you know, I don't give a shit, right? So her, Debbie Harry and her group, Blondie, they were all about like mixing new styles. So hip hop in 1979, 80 was like the new thing that she was kind of keying in and being like, hey, you know, these black parties in New York, they're doing this new thing where they're mixing up records. She was actually the one that went to Nile Rodgers, the one who produced that, you know, good times, these are those good times. She was the one that got into Nile Rodgers' ear and told people that, hey, did you know they're playing your record down at the like at these like East Coast like, you know, New York parties? Did you know that? Like they're spinning it and mixing it up, and actually people are like rapping it over and doing all sorts of stuff. And Nile Rodgers came down to those parties. So Blondie, you know, Debbie Harry was one of the first people letting the mainstream cats in the music industry know that hip hop was this thing that was happening, which I think is so cool. But what's funny about that is the double-sided thing was Nile Rodgers was like, oh, they're playing all my records at these parties? Oh, and then 1980, 1981 is when they just start really making records, not just doing routines of black parties, but making records where they're sampling that same bass line. And now Rodgers said, I'm about to sue the shit out of these niggas.
Okay.
So we got the era of like sampling and realizing that we can make things up, in the era of you better fucking pay me my money.
I gotta get my
Are you ready to have your are you ready to have your mind blocked by the hip hop epic?
This is what the original sounds like.
This is the open the wrong tab.
And in case you're wondering, she definitely comes back and does another
verse.
Just
like figure it out as I go kind of quality to it. It's just like, and me and her went to the store.
Right, it's so clearly improv.
Apples there, and we just went and figured out now.
Like when Donald Glover made his joke, it's like,
have you ever listened to rap back in the day? It's always some dude being like, well, I went to the hat store today and I bought myself a hat.
Well, see, here's what's funny to me. Here's what's funny to me is that this is Debbie Harry doing her version of like what rap is. So it's like she's clearly not doing the best version of it. She's doing the white person doing their best at it version of it. So
like Taylor Swift trying to rap like Drake.
This like anyone at the time would have known that like
this
for the
80s. So, that's what this was.
But what the funny thing is, she kind of had respect because she was the first person bringing it to the mainstream. This is the first like rap song like that was on like the mainstream that was being hit, other than what you call it. If I'm not mistaken, wait, let's see which one came out first.
White woman brought rap to the mainstream.
Blondie,
Rapture is
that's crazy.
So
the white blonde woman brought rap to the mainstream. That's wild.
Yes.
No, once again, because it wasn't going to be a black person, right? You know what I mean?
Make it palatable.
It's so funny that FD just dropped his video about white rappers too, and coincidentally didn't bring up. But yeah, it's like Debbie Harry and Rapture, like she actually respected the art form because she was in the punk scene, and rap and punk are kind of sister arts, you know, as genres and being counterculture and everything like that, versus rap is rhythm and poetry is a lot of what people use it as an anagram for. But it's like you need a master of ceremonies, you need dance. It's a very strong experience versus I'd say it's like flip side, which would be punk. but those communities would kind of have a lot of overlap. Like there were black punk and there are white people that like rap. They like disco. You know, it'd be disco remixes, go-go remixes were big, and that's
well, I would say like disco was like the mainstream, and punk was like the poor white kids, what the poor white kids were listening to, and hip hop was like what the poor black kids were listening to, essentially, right? Like that's the music that we're going out to see this weekend. Exactly. You know what I mean?
The
like,
new scene,
So
the hot thing.
Now let me see what. Okay. So yeah, all right. So Rapper's Delight was first. Rapper's Delight was first because that came out September 16th, 1979. So that was the first hip hop as a novelty record. And I feel like hip hop was bubbling as a thing until Blondie comes out January 12th, 1981. The rest of that year, hip hop like pops as a thing that people are trying to really get mofos on record as doing, you know? So it's one of those, it's like, she didn't start the fire, but she was the one who was going like, hey, wait a minute, what else does that hip hop stuff sound like? You know what I mean? So I would say before, so from 1973
79 is like the proto period. Like that's the tester.
Yeah, that's nothing's on record.
That's your Terminator 1 period.
Yeah, Cool Herc comes from Jamaica. You know, motherfuckers were chatting over records and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was like going like, okay, what if I did that at this? It was like a back to school party or something like that was happening. And so he like sets up these speakers, and you know he tries to do like going between two records where he can have like one record playing and then start another record playing, and so we can kind of keep a party going because like once that song's over, now we can get to the next song. And he wasn't necessarily the best at like mixing the records. It wasn't until Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, that's when I think we start moving over into the real era of I'm really going to try to loop this record around and put markers on the thing so that I can really keep this groove going, so that when it goes for an 8 count on this thing, and then I can get it on 8 count on this thing and really have it and really start scritching and scratching it up. So now the DJing side of things really starts making production matter more. So once we get to 1979 to 80, moving to like 84, I feel like that's the
next one we'll be getting into, out of the proto era into the one where it's a little bit more creating. You're starting to get like people that are creating their own sounds around 80, 81 to 85. Because that's when you would have a big songs like, what time did The Message come out? Because like Rapper's Delight is a big one, and you said that was 79.
Rapper's Delight, yeah, that's what like kicks it off. But I feel like by the time we get to Curtis Blow in 1981, like hip hop has become like, this is the sound of hip hop now. You know, it's like big guys rapping up on the beat, trying to give you the rhymes that are coming the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
the breaks, break it up, break it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it has that Sissian flair that it was a simple rhyme scheme, but they'd still be telling stories because message, broken glass everywhere, people pissing in the streets, and they just don't care.
Yeah. Okay. So now check this out. This is where I'm going to have a little contention with Wikipedia, right? So I'm looking, you know, to see what they're. Now, the new school and old school era is always funny to me when it comes to the 80s, right? Because it always feels like if you really listen to the songs and records as they come out, it really does feel like every 2 years, everyone is saying, oh, 3 years ago was the old school, this is the new school. Oh, 4 years ago was the old school, this is the new. Because like, in fact, what was the song? Boogie Down Productions, what was that song? I'm Number One. So when did that come out? Okay, that actually works. Okay, so Boogie Down Productions is the KRS-One, the group that KRS-One had. They kind of popped off. When was their big hit?
For Boogie Down Productions.
Yeah, I'm looking them up because they're I feel like they're part of the mid 80s era and on. 1986. Yep, I had it just right. Criminal Minded comes out in 1987. Yeah, their record comes out. When did the first record come out? That was like a hit. South Bronx is 1986. Okay. So I am correct. So this is what I think is funny. And like I said, in that song, he literally says, like, someone was talking about, like, basically that's a diss song to the rappers before him. KRS-One, who we now know as an old school rapper, is dissing what he considers the old school rappers
from like
at
3
that
years
time,
prior.
right? Right.
Old
So I just find it so funny that it's like,
about
damn, we're
my
already
brother
doing this.
Christ. It's still the old school.
Yeah, right.
The school hasn't
Right.
graduated
So
yet. Like,
yeah, so this is the part that I wanted to highlight, because he says someone goes like this. He says because of like rappers not having heart, the groups fell apart. Rap is still an art, and no one's from the old school because rap is still a brand new tool. Now he's saying this in what year is this? 1988, right? And then he says, I'm saying no one's from the old school because rap on a whole isn't even 20 years old. 50 years down the line, you can start this because we'll be the old school artists. Like, so he's like pre-cognitively kind of saying, like, what the hell are you guys talking about? We haven't even really done anything yet. So I would feel like, 86 to 89 is when we get the more lyrical, complex rappers, right? That's when you get the Big Daddy Kanes. Oh shit, hello?
Okay,
Damn.
we're back and able to talk about things.
Yeah, because I was actually getting on a fucking roll, because I was saying,
You were. I don't know what the hell just happened, but we were talking about you were talking about 88 with Boogie Down Productions and KRS-One and everything that he was saying about the old school, quote unquote.
Yeah, I feel like 86 to 89 is when we really start getting like you said, Boogie Down Productions, we get Rakim, we get Big Daddy Kane, we get Heavy D. These are way more lyrical guys that are like still of the old school, but the complexity is way more complex than what you would consider the Curtis Blows, the we're playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? Like, so 81 to 85 is what I would consider the gold school, old school era. That is we're just trying to figure out how to put records together. We're just trying to figure out what is really considered a rap song, because this genre is so new. There's guys doing really lyrical songs over there, but then there's guys doing the like basically rap songs, but they're kind of just R&B songs. You know what I mean? Like, there were guys doing electronica where, like, get the party in the beat. All you freaks in the house tonight, move your body from left to right. No, see feet to the mouth to right. So let's get this motherfucker party right. These electronic joints, and we're like, is that rap?
Yeah, that's about the Africa Bambaataa age.
Yeah, that's what that fusion
like mid to late 80s.
Because that was about 1982. I think Africa Bambaataa and the Planet Rock, the Planet Rock, boom,
rock. That's where you get looking for the perfect beat in the Proud Family dance battle.
So that's 19. Yeah, I believe Planet Rock is 1982. So we're still, if you listen, the rapping sounds very primitive. Let your soul get your flow, then we're going to rock in the beat. Let the body beat.
Because B-boys were still a thing at that point in the early 80s and whatnot. So, all right, what would we call like 81 to 85? Because I don't think we're in the golden era yet.
No, I would call that the gold school era, the true old school gold school era, because these are the first records, but it hasn't really coded. But like 5 years later, that would be considered passe, because it's like, listen to how they're rapping. Like, if you listen to a rapper in 1989, if I told you 3 rappers from 1989 and then told those guys to write a rap that sounded like 1981, it would sound way more complex than the more basic stuff from earlier in that era did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once we get to, like, so 1981 to 85 is the old gold school era. I feel like 86 to like 90, I wouldn't call that like I guess we could call it like the silver school. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? 81 to 85, old school, gold school. Yeah, and this is like you know how comics have the gold era and the silver age comics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think rap does have those eras too. Before we get, we'll get to the millennium and what that really kind of is and what that sound is. But it's like 81 to 85, I would say is like that's old school, gold school. That's your that's gonna be not MC Light. That's after that. That's like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
But
she's
that's
more
gonna be-
complex.
who's my boy? Oh my god, Slick Rick. That's your Slick Rick. Your Dougie Fresh.
Now wait a minute.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
They
Sorry,
might actually.
that's Silver School. That's Silver School, I think.
Yeah,
because
they
late
would
80s.
qualify as Silver School. Yeah.
But
I think they
Gold
might have
School
been
is
starting
gonna
their
be-
routines in the like mid to early. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm trying to think of some
so
like
they're
really
gonna
good
be-
names that would really pop. The Fat Boys, they were like right on the edge of that. Like you could say like 84.
Ever
LL
since the
Cool
Fat
J.
Boys broke up,
He's
rap ain't been the same since.
it's so funny. But it's so
Hip-hop
funny.
has
Like,
never recovered. The Fat Boys broke up. Hip hop has been in shambles for 30 years.
Perfect example. Houdini. The what is it? Before we can be further, let's be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. You know, or I need a freak with long hair. I need a freak in underwear. Like that's the very basic sort of, type of rap. You know what I mean? But by the time
we're in like Silver School, that's when we're gonna get see MC Light, I think is 90s. So that's gonna be
no, she's late 80s.
She's late 80s.
She's late 80s
so she's
for
Silver
sure.
School. So MC Light, that's gonna be, but that's we were talking earlier. Those are your groups. So that's gonna be your Salt and Pepper, Run DMC, Beastie Boys. Like that's when groups like really starting to kind of pop off when it was starting to settle more that hip hop now has a sound, and people were like collaborating a lot more and everything. And this is when this is gonna be, I think, the earliest you will see Jay-Z is like 88.
Yes, 88. He was chilling with Jazzo. That was like their whole thing because he was Jay-Z, and so he was actually supposed to be the And in fact, wouldn't it?
Was Pac with not Arrested Development, Digital Underground then?
Yes, Pac was with Digital Underground around 1989. Yeah, he was a backup
like
dancer
89. So at the like right at the end of so this is your big group eras. This is where we're getting interesting collaborations and beefs. This is when I guess Fat Boys is funny enough, like the nexus between Silver School and Gold School, weirdly. So I guess
and LL Cool J, like that's because they were adapting to more, more personality. I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is very much Silver School personality era.
Yeah,
it's like you go back, you can think about it. It's like, oh yeah, this is your Run DMCs. This is, I think, where people kind of started to get a more mainstream associated sound of hip hop, because this is also like early beginnings of Will Smith.
Yeah, for sure. Fresh Prince,
because when he was with Jazzy Jeff. So it's like I think this is the Silver School. Funny enough, is right. I think this is the point where it's one where you're like, you can't deny hip hop. This is the birth of it becoming mainstream. Not when it's cemented, but this is when you start to see it pop up in movies and like random. Well,
this
Rodney
is
Dangerfield was rapping for some reason. Like this is when
Rodney Dangerfield was doing he was doing that back in the early 80s, as a matter of fact. I think the Rappin' Rodney was, wait, hold on a second. When did Rappin' Rodney came out? Because that actually 1983, right? Rodney Dangerfield was on that ass.
But and I'm just now remembering it too. We partially wouldn't have hip hop without Rudy Ray Moore, because that was the 70s.
Because there were a lot of dudes they would do the slick shit talking shit in the 70s, and those would be records, right? Where it's like, oh, you play this record with your friends, and this motherfucker's telling you all these wild stories about way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on the signifying monkey's feet. You know what I'm saying? And so the 80s comes along.
On rhythm.
So the 80s comes along and like, hey, wait, motherfuckers are just talking on the beats now? Okay, I'm Blowfly, I'm so-and-so, I'm just gonna start rapping on these beats and just talking shit. And that's where you get Blowfly had this great record called Blowfly versus Darth Vader, where it's like
Darth
a rap
Vader,
where he's literally, it's literally a fucking a fan fiction rap about Blowfly like fighting Darth Vader, and how it's like, if we don't get this motherfucker, he's gonna kick all us in the ass, But it's like bouncing off of those, that fun, goofy sort of like energy. But check this though. So In Living Color is the first, I believe, TV show with a rap song in the theme song. Before that, I don't think there was a show.
Yes.
And that was April 15th, 1990. So I feel like 1990 is really the year hip hop goes mainstream. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I think is so interesting about the year 1990.
One.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like
that's
1990. Yeah, I feel like 1990 to 1993, we have what 1990 to 1993. I call it's this interesting switchover point. I feel like rap becomes the most like cartoonish looking it's ever been, but then it also flips into the gangster rap takeover, right? So we've got Kid and Play, MC Hammer, guys with the big geometric haircuts, and then like the next year, 1992, 1993, oh shit, gangster rap really is going to be this thing that's going to be here forever. We got a image switch. Nobody's doing that shit anymore. Even Kid and Play has to do the dreads and shit by their third house party movie.
Even Will Smith tried to hop on the gangster rap train. So did MC Hammer.
It was a
weird dichotomy because
hip hop had an identity crisis.
Because like hip hop had an identity. It split personalities where at the birth of these really dark. You got your NWAs, Eazy-E, Pac. Biggie, all of them were really finding themselves and finding their careers, and people were talking about like the more. It's not that hip hop never talked about the struggle, but the way it was a lot more visceral than in like previous raps, where it's like
a lot more hyper real. Yeah,
that makes me sad. Versus like I'm selling crack to keep my house afloat. It's like these are the realities.
Yeah, what they used to call it before it was called gangster rap, they called it reality rap. It's like this is what's really going on, and but nobody wants to play those records. Play the records that are for the ladies, Yeah.
And because I think one of the things was LL Cool J had beef with, was it Big Daddy Kane? Because he thought he was soft because he appealed to women. But it's like 90 to 93 is like it was that split personality era, because I think this is also the era where b-boying and dancing died. Because remember, there's a lot of dancing in hip hop for most of its run until about Gangsta, when all of a sudden with the reality rap era, that's when things all people, because like the only one that was really doing it was Will Smith with like Get Jiggy with it and other stuff.
Think about MC Hammer when he tried to do it one last time. He tried to do I'm gangster rap. What was the pumps and a bump? Pumps and a bump. I'm really gangster with the pumps and a bump. And remember how he looked? Remember how he looked when he had the dancers with him trying to look all hardcore but still rock the baggy dancers? And it kind of seemed like a weird clash. It's like, because gangster rappers don't have like backup dancers. What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, and so it became this thing of like, you know what I mean? But no one's like, the Wu-Tang Clan is like 9 motherfuckers, ain't nobody dancing.
Because that was like the evolution of the groups from the Silver School era. That's when you really get the birth of more like West Coast, East Coast, and everything becoming a little bit more defined, which is hilarious because Pac is from the East Coast. He just moved to the West Coast. But it's him and his personality, Death Row versus Bad Boy and everything, and like label wars kind of started too. Def Jam probably would have been at the end of the 80s.
Yeah. Image
so it's like that's when you're really
so much of a
your image as an artist starts to basically be something you have to carry 24/7 versus just like, oh, this is somebody that makes music. It's like, no, you got to be about that life, because now rap is kind of your life. I mean, like for you, Aaron, which era would you say you kind of entered in? Because I know for me personally, I was introduced through various smatterings of like between Proto and Gangsta.
Yeah, some were probably like mid to late 90s, like growing up listening to it in the car with my mom and whatnot. And then I guess my dad would introduce me to to the stuff that he listened to growing up. And yeah, no, it's just, I'm not gonna front. Y'all both have a wealth of knowledge as far as the history of hip hop goes. So I think most of my listening took place like in the early to mid 2000s and like the 2010s era. I need to go back and listen to a lot of the older stuff.
I mean, it's not required homework. But I am curious of
it's interesting hearing you guys. It's a podcast. It's also like a history lesson as well, which is very fascinating. But I kind of started listening to older stuff, or like even how you were talking about the fact that hip hop and like how you presented yourself had to become a full identity over the course of time, or at least in the 90s. And that made me think of like FD Signifier's video, how like it's like almost like a
it was like, who these fake niggas rapping? You gotta be a real rapper, right? Like, you ain't no fake gangster, are you? You know, like, what kind of
right, but yeah, but like it's like almost like wrestling, right? You have to like put on this energy, this facade, because that's like the presentation in which you're seen as. And if you're not seen as that authentically, or is not seen as that 24/7, you're not really about it. And I feel like the fact that all of the stuff around the music itself has started to take precedent and was started to become important. I know we're not in the 2000s era yet, so we're not talking about people like Kanye and Drake.
We'll be there in just a second too. I think once we get more closer to the 2000s, there'll be more to unpack because it really starts to splinter off. I think 90 Gangsta era, those are the first major kind of cracks. Like, you're always going to have independent and whatnot, but there's like that contrast between what was gangsta and what was like the evolution point of the Silver School. Because I think gangsta was a retaliation to that. It's like, y'all ain't keeping it real, bro. Stop all this dancing, bro. What's with all these shiny suits, bro? Like, be real, son. Be real. Like, that was gangsta is the punk. Like, gangsta was to other rap or other hip hop as like punk was to rock. It was definitely the counterculture version of it. Because like you think about how many like gangsta artists started really springing up. This is really when like Jay-Z started to change, and we'll get into that.
But first Jay-Z was the super lyrical guy. He was like the lyrical flow. You can think you can flow with me. Recognize your J to the Z. You know, that was him first. You know what I'm saying? But then he realized, wait a minute.
He was a lyrical, spiritual miracle individual.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a hyper lyrical nexus point in the mid 90s where like motherfuckers were trying to do the, what was it? It's the fucking bum stickity bum hum. I got that old pum pum so I can be fire your full figgity fum. Here I comes on be the piper. I might put them Pinocchio's notes. I'm like, nigga, you didn't say anything. That was just a bunch of references. Like,
I'm impressed you could remember that off rip though, because it's different when we get from
that's the figgity era where motherfuckers were just going bum stickity, about the figgity, got the figgity. They were just trying to sound like they were rapping fast, you know. Yeah, Bone Thugs.
Part of Bone Thugs, like, man, up here, like, bum 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 bum.
Yeah, so I would say
my Uncle Charles. I was like,
he said, but I would say there's like a nexus point of like the hyper lyrical blending into when Tupac and Biggie got shot. So we got 96 to 97. You got hyper lyrical gangster rap really reaches like the big nexus point. Then they get killed. And it's not that gangster rap ever completely goes away, because we do get DMX right around the corner. But I feel like when Snoop Dogg... but I feel like when Snoop Dogg becomes a surviving guy...
It evolved into pimp rap.
The pimp rap, the hustler, you know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily the gangster, but I might hire the guy that gets you. That's where Jay-Z steps in as oh no, I'm not necessarily the gangster, but I'm the hustler.
I'm a businessman, not a
business. Yeah, exactly. You got Jay-Z saying he's gonna retire every other album,
So we're talking about like 94 to 2000. This is where the cracks really start to shift into its own different forms. We get the introduction of the South really making an argument for hip hop.
I mean, just regions. Yeah, you got the East Coast. The South now is making its way. Yeah.
We had East versus West during like that the Gangsta v mainstream.
The early 90s. Then from there,
yeah. The South has something to say. So now you're gonna get your Outkast, your UGK, Who else? Yeah.
Now, admittedly, a lot of the stuff. But here's the thing: a lot of people would shit on it because there would be a lot of the stuff from like the Miami bass sound that was just like, "Come on up and shake that booty, come on up and shake that booty." So you got Uncle Luke in his influence.
We always cover my. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll have like Uncle Luke. Who's
do the Tootsie Roll? Let me see your Tootsie Roll. You know, like all them type of joints that were just like for the club, but. What are Quad City DJs? You know what I'm saying? Come on and ride the train. You know what I'm saying? Like, and motherfuckers didn't even consider that hip hop because it was so just trying to be dance floor shit that it was just like, but it's like, but they are still rapping technically, like, you know.
So you know what? I'd put that in. I put that in with Jiggy. Those were the Jiggy.
This is going into the Jiggy era.
Those were club banger hits. That's Jiggy music. That's music that you dance to. Because there were still, while there weren't like dancers as prominent as they were because of Gangsta, there was still dance music made.
But wait a minute. What you gonna do up in the club? What are the gangsters gonna do up in the club? Are they about to break out and do all this sort of stuff? No, but they might get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying?
So three of the big ones.
Matter of fact, what's that Will Smith? What's that new song you've got called?
Right, because he knew how to.
He was doing the G-rated version of that. If you listen, you hear in the background, it's always that jiggy with it. It's the music you can shimmy a little bit.
Late 90s.
Yeah, that's that P. Diddy. It's the P. Diddy. Let's just make these nice hooks where we sample, you know, hit songs from the 80s. Let's get Wyclef in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know,
all about the Benjamin. So some of the things we got here, we got Southern rap as a region. You got the mainstream is now more Jiggy. Those are your dance music. Gangsta kind of evolved more to hustler culture, where it's like, oh, we still kill people, but we don't get blood on our shoes. You know, we got other people to sell the dope for us, but we still don't reap the benefits. Like, we still got the girls. And it's like we ain't got to hit them to let them know that we mean business because we got money. We can. It's music.
That's why I don't like the phrase bling era as much because it's like motherfuckers was always rocking gold. Like in 1980s, they had the fucking dookie ropes. Like. You know, they didn't start wearing gold and then, you know.
So like that's what people called it, the bling era, because everything was shiny. That was like the pre-millennium, the Millennium.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, excuse you. But you know, but motherfuckers were lightening shit up because two of the biggest guys just got hit. And like, what are we going to do? Are we going to just keep doing the exact same thing? No, there's got to be some sort of style change, you know? So it became so I feel like Snoop Dogg really came to prominence in this era because he could make that shift. He had a lighter, cooler voice. I'm not necessarily the gangster. I might just be the pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
He was one. Too Short was another one who also still used that that bum stickity bum flow from like the early 90s. Who was another one? I'm forgetting his name. From... Damn it. The song he did with Kanye West. Twister was another one.
Yeah. He stuck around.
This is where you get your like peak Busta Rhymes or your real early Busta Rhymes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wait, what were we gonna say? What were we gonna say, Aaron?
Yeah, what were we gonna say?
I feel like if Biggie and Tupac didn't die, that would change the trajectory of hip hop.
I believe so. It could. I don't know where it would have gone.
Way longer.
Yeah. But it's just interesting to think about that because, like, you had to do motherfuckers couldn't just think about it. Literally, Will Smith comes out the next year. Like, Fresh Prince was 1988 to 1993, and then the gangster rap thing kind of chewed him up and spit him out. He went into the movie industry. When did he come back? Right when the Jiggy era is coming in. Hey, let's lighten things up. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
It was like those last three albums, and that stopped in like 2005. But that was like 98 to 2005. That was like a strong him doing this thing.
Strong second wind as a rapper, yeah.
So a whole second wind as a solo artist. But
now, we were talking about how from 2000 though to 2005, we go into the Crunk era. Yeah.
Yes. Which still has elements of the hustler. That shifted a little bit, but Crunk was the real big one where
the new sound of the day. Lil Jon and East Side Boys, Yin Yang Twins, OKKK, Lil Scrappy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Boosie is another one.
And it was just such a push, I think, against the hyper lyrical '90s thing, right? So now it's just like we just partying in the club, we just hitting these.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me step back to the late '90s for 1 second. There was another thing I almost forgot that we didn't mention. The return of the cerebral rap because of neo soul.
Okay.
Where you had the neo
because
rappers like Common, Fugees, Lauren,
the Roots,
the Soulquarians.
Yeah. A Q-Tip was kind of like the crossover from the early '90s into the late '90s of that. Yeah,
Rakim, because then you'll like that's when you really get like peak Rakim.
Because like we had those people.
Nas, sorry, what were we saying there?
Just a quick, and we needed those people in that era to walk, so people like Kendrick could run.
Essentially.
Yeah, you're gonna get your earthy girl,
Bohemian, Erykah Badu, you know,
brothers and Earth Girl like rap, because like that was the same time as like
Outkast, Speakerbox Love Below would basically be like the nexus of that. I would feel like, you know what I'm saying?
that was so okay. So we can go back to the 2000 now. So Crunk at its peak, at its strongest, but this is also where we're getting Kanye and Lupe.
True.
This is where they're like
2005.
Like right near the end of Crunk. That's when we're getting those seed planted going into the next era. We're getting but
not so fast.
Crunk, but I'm not speeding past it. Go ahead.
Well, I'll say not so fast because we still got the ringtone rap that kind of becomes from 2006 to 2011. You know what I mean?
What do we really have to say about Crunk? I mean, Crunk is weird because Crunk is kind of maintained.
Crunk is the big brother,
but the songs that were hits were hits. So what?
Yeah, like "Bum Bum Bum Get Low" is the definitive. Okay, Crunk is here now.
Yang Twins,
you know,
was a whole era, but Crunk did it. Now the weird thing is like there is a point you can pinpoint for the start of chiptune rap, which funny enough has like its seeds from Crunk, because Crunk had all the dances, you know, including what you were talking about,
that electrical, really buzzy synthy stuff. Yeah,
but it had the evolution of the hustler because you know it leaned back. Even hustlers had a dance. Everybody had a dance during the Crunk era. So it's like the hood dudes had a dance, but the hustlers had a dance. The ladies had a dance. You know, it's like we didn't even talk much about the ladies side of things with like Lil' Kim from Queen Latifah and everything. There was a whole side timeline going on, like Roxanne.
Pinpoint a year. When would you say the Crunk era ended?
So Crunk, I would say, ended in 2005. The point where chiptune ringtone started. I feel like there had to be go ahead.
Had to be a transitionary period between Crunk and then y'all don't forget. I mean, when we were growing up, the Crank that became a whole
right. I feel like that ringtone rap is the little brother of the Crunk sound, because Crunk was the big club sound and ringtone rap was the we don't need to sound that big. It just needs to fit on your phone, and you're gonna play that shit. You know,
that was hit me on my next tell chirp when you hear that. Meaning nigga got some work. That was 06. And the exact point when it happened, Crank That Soulja Boy.
Yep.
As much
that
as
was like a game changer. Going to middle school, that was a game changer.
Whatever they want about Soulja, he is a nexus point for hip hop, just as much as like, you know, Cool G Rap, Cool Herc, Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but he is
it was the intersection of the technology and you know what I'm saying, the music, because music was now more accessible.
He was the first one to do it and makes a crazy success out of it. You can't deny Soulja Boy's influence on hip-hop.
What is it? He made his beat on a what do you call it? You know, the version you can get before you buy the official version.
Like Fruity Loops?
Yeah, on a trial version of Fruity Loops. Like that was like the introduction to wait a minute. You can get multi-platinum success off of just these fruity hold on a second. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that definitely switched things when that cat got out of the bag.
And,
you know what I mean?
He's so important because everybody had to crank that dance, crank that Batman, crank that SpongeBob, crank that Star Wars, like crank that Spider-Man. Everybody was making ups, and it's so weird now that I'm like thinking back to it too, and the other eras we'll get into. Because remember, there was an evolution from that era when social media was big for other rappers making their own dances to their song. Because that you would not have the whip, the nay nay, and a bunch of other dances without Crank That. Because that's the type of music where it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a music with a dance to it that's a bop, where you try to, learn the step. Like, we've always had line dances and shit. That's never anything new. But it died for a little bit, and then came back with Crunk, but it shot back up with the Chiptune era with Soulja Boy.
Also, we're talking about splits. The thing we brush over a little bit, Kanye's importance during the era as well, because you have to remember, because Kanye came out with you
talk about College Dropout?
And then it was College Dropout, Graduation, and they thought he was into a third album. That's when he dropped 808 and Heartbreaks, and that was like
you're right. You're absolutely
right. That was another shift off.
But
wait a minute.
You were absolutely right. I almost forgot that. Thank you.
When did he make? Because think about it. He did 808s and Heartbreaks. That was leaning into the ringtone, digital, glitchy sound. Think about that. Then what happens in 2010? We get the maximalist sound with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. We get the really big, I gotta have orchestras, I gotta have, you know what I'm saying? Flashing lights, you know what I'm saying?
The chiptune sound was so weird because that's when internet was starting to develop as its own culture. So like Soulja Boy is a defining point for hip hop, but you're right, Aaron, because I think we said chiptune ringtone era is like 06 to like 11. Like things are faster now. So not only is it developing, it's developing and reacting to itself, starting to in real time. So that's how you can go from like College Dropout to 808s in the same timeline, where it has being around like ringtone rap, where people are like, oh yeah, hit me on this line, and then like this Kanye West song will play, and then you have the 808 boom bap return in response to the ringtone rap that he did right before, which like because
that launch in and of itself, because without 808 and Heartbreaks, we wouldn't have people like what's his name, Juice WRLD, and we wouldn't have people like
Day and Night, the lonely sees the dreams night and night. You know what I'm saying?
We wouldn't have
we wouldn't have. You're absolutely right, because we wouldn't have Kid Cudi without Kanye West.
Kid Cudi, as well,
this is.
So but what I think is interesting is that we go next from that. So Kanye West does the big maximalist sound with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think we start.
That was 08.
No, that was 2010.
Sorry, 808s was 08. Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was 2010. You're right.
So, but now after that, I feel like we go into, if I can push this out here, the backpack / blog rap hype beast era. You know what I'm saying?
The other one we want to talk about, because springing off of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, so we're talking about like, I think we said like 12 to 18. Another split. You got internet backpack rap, so you're gonna get, this is Odd Future, Childish Gambino, Danny Brown. This is like the Chance. This is the birth of like Kendrick, J. Cole. This is the birth of the peak,
Wale,
I would say,
the guys who got big on that Piff and Now Right. You know,
you put J. Cole in backpack rap?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyone that had a mixtape, you were backpack rap. But like this is peak Lil Wayne too, because these are when all his mixtapes are dropping. It's between like around these two eras, but on that's one side of things, and then but also springing off of on the other side, still in this. So I call this just overall the mixtape era. You got trap, and we can't talk about trap without talking about Chief Keef, who like boom. another point. Like that's a hard line. Like don't like love Sosa.
Yeah.
Like I put it's like, you know, you'll get because I don't think without Chief Keef, you're not really gonna get like Travis Scott, but you wouldn't have Travis Scott without Kanye West. But it's like that Chicago sound stamped its point with Keef. You know, it's like we still got the dance and everything, but like,
but at the same time, like you said, there was the reaction again. There was the backpack, Childish Gambino, J. Cole, Wale. Hey, these guys got a little bit something more going on. Then you got what I would call like the hype beast rap, which was I feel like Love Sosa, but also I feel like the biggest part of that was and not the most important, but I feel like was the most endemic of what that kind of like felt like. Who is that boy who was doing the all gold everything? Gold all on my wrist, gold all on my watch, gold all on my chain. Don't believe me, just watch. Nigga, don't believe me, just watch. Where it's like the whole point was like one line was the hit. You know what I'm saying? Like that one line. Don't believe me, just watch. Nigga, don't believe me, just watch. What else did he say on that line? Did anyone care? No, the whole point was that was the big line. You know what I mean?
And I got put onto that song by white kids, and I was at private school. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I thought it was trash. I'm like, white people are loving it.
But it's really basic bitchery, which feels like it's hype beast. It's like it's a bit of the hyper real. I feel going into the well, I feel like the next is, I mean, the highest point, the shittiest that gets is your boy with the colorful hair, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like that's the logical endpoint of the
Gucci.
Yeah, it's like
not white girl mom.
Remember Boonk? Remember that guy where it was like, I have an Instagram account where I'm just like doing shit and causing pranks, but also I make rap music sometimes. Like that's what I feel like. Huh?
Well, because this is also like the Vine era for rap, but there's
Vine,
what's weird is like not weird, but like weird in a cool way that I don't think we have anymore in rap. This was peak cypher era. This was peak collab era. This was artists working with other artists because everyone was on the come up and everybody was hungry. This is how we got like Kendrick and Cole on Black Friday. This is how like Logic and Gambino had Driving Miss Daisy. This is how like Wayne was just like, oh yeah, on what was it, Carter 3 is intro, interlude, and outro where it's like Andre 3K and like 15 other artists just sprinkled throughout the album. These cool like Busta Rhymes. People were just coming in, spitting shit. This is where we get, because remember what was it? What was the one? Fucking Problems. I think that was another huge song because that was ASAP, 2 Chainz, Drake, Kendrick. We will never get a song like that again. What was another? Mercy. That was
Lamborghini, because they had two Chainz on it. Big Sean.
Was Teyana Taylor on that? Because that was Cruel Winter or Cruel Summer.
No, but because I remember Catch Up My Campaign, Color Mayonnaise. And then Pusha T, I think, was on that one, wasn't it? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
was that Pusha T, Big Sean, Kanye, and like that was a big collab.
Cruel Summer was a huge collab.
Yeah,
that was really good. This era was niggas in not niggas in Paris.
But that was part of the maximalist. That was part of the maximalist collab era because you had Ham. That 2011 was the Jay-Z Kanye album. Am I wrong? The Golden album.
Yeah.
Watch the Throne. That was the name of it. Yeah.
Is that 2011?
Yeah. I believe so.
Sure.
Am I wrong? Watch the Throne. Yeah, either 2011 or 2012. August 8th, 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is 12-year-old album. People still playing niggas in Paris. That's
weird,
awesome.
right?
This is like so that was really, I guess, the start of like the real big collab era for rap. That was one of the
big maximalist sound. Yeah, everything's big.
Yeah, because it wasn't just that, but because this is when Double XL also was hitting its peak until like it had like a strong 4 or 5 year run where every year people would look forward to the ciphers. Like that used to be a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like that, because like remember, Iggy Azalea, Logic, and MGK were all double XL freshmen.
Yeah.
With so was Chance the Rapper, Anderson .Paak, Mac Miller, Childish Gambino. I'm pretty sure. Like Kendrick, Cole, all of them were double XL freshmen at some point.
Yeah.
That used to mean something up until like 2018. I would argue was when there was like one year specific, because I remember you and Muse had done the ciphers a little bit for going off, and there was like one year where it was just like notoriously bad. Yeah. I think it was 2018, because I remember I used to not like 21 Savage. There was one, it was like Savage, Kodak Black, and like 3 other rappers.
And wasn't it, I got Bronze in Atlanta, Designer. Was it Designer?
Yes, it was the one with Designer.
It had to be the 2018 one.
Yeah, I think 2018 was when Double XL lost its credibility and the Cypher era ended, I would say. I think that's when all of this came to a stop. But yeah, I almost forgot. DaBaby and Meg Thee Stallion were on the same Double XL freshman class, and I think that was I think that might have been 2018 or 2017.
What did he? Wait, was Childish Gambino in the Double XL? Was he on there? I'm trying to look.
I thought so.
Man.
Because let's see. There's got to be a list somewhere of all the.
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to see.
We also at some point have to address the Drake in the room.
Yeah.
Like him or not, he's one of the, because we have to talk about these different eras, right? Like 50 years of hip hop.
Because we got Young Money. This era was Young Money. You're right.
Young Money, 2009. But homie's still on top, and it's 2023. So like, how has he had the longest run in hip hop? Granted, obviously he's dipped into pop and like other genres and stuff. But as far as like staying on top in popularity, I don't think any other rapper's done that thus far.
He is the new LL Cool J.
Famous rapper. I know he's definitely the most famous currently. He's arguably the most famous of all time. Like his numbers are rivaling Michael Jackson's.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now I want to see. Hold on a second. LL Cool J. What was his run? Because he had a pretty long run.
Oh wow. Okay. So side note, I found the. I found
Drake's falling off when he makes his return to TV acting.
Yeah.
Wait.
Here.
What? What's up? What were you gonna say?
I found that, so Double XL has a list of all of their freshmen since 2007. Wale, B.O.B., and Asher Roth were 09.
Yup, I remember them.
Damn, I forgot
Kid
about
Cudi was 09. Oh my God. Corey Guns.
Wow.
J. Cole was 2010. J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, J-Rock, 2010. 2011 would be Mac Mill, Big.
Check this out.
Yeah.
So check this out. I was looking up LL Cool J's run, right? The first time he had a huge hit was, let's say, you know what? Let's be as mean as possible. I'm Bad in 1987. I mean, I feel like radio. You know what I'm saying? We can talk before that with Rock the Bells in 1986, but let's just say for the hell of it. So 86, and when's his last hit? 2006 with Control Myself with Jennifer Lopez. Now, I would say Headsprung is the last big hit in 1984, but even then, from 84 to 94 and 94 to 2004, that's 2 decades of like making hits. So let's look at Drake. I wonder what he's
84 to 94?
Yeah, 84 to 2004 or 2006. Because if you even 2006 with Control Myself was his last hit.
Or was he still on top in 2006 though?
See, that's why I feel like Headsprung. That's why I would say Headsprung in 1984.
I do remember Headsprung.
You remember it because he had Timbaland on the beat, and it was like, oh snap! Wait, is he still like that guy? Yeah, exactly. But I would say
because Will Smith had huge numbers. Because that's another thing we can't ignore. Because I think Will Smith got the first hip hop Grammy.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
So it's like, I wonder if he's a more apt comparison too, because I mean, they're both Will Smith and LL Cool J. I think are both fair comparisons for Drake, but Drake is like a whole nother level. I'm trying to see. I'm looking through the list to see if Drake was ever a double XL freshman.
I don't believe
2012 was. He might have. 2012 was insane. Future, Kid Ink, Danny Brown, French Montana, Macklemore, Machine Gun Kelly, Hobson, Iggy Azalea, and Roscoe Dash.
He really fell off.
What happened to who? Wait, what would you say?
Macklemore really fell off.
Oh yeah, come on.
Most of the 2012 class fell off. 2013, Schoolboy Q, Trinidad James, Joey Badass.
Ross, when the last time we heard from him?
I don't know.
One hit wonder like a month.
Man, I love. Actually, the last time I heard of him was on like a cipher randomly in like 2013.
Okay,
Travis Scott.
So check this out.
Was a double X.
Let's look at Drake. Damn. What's his first big hit? I would say
Drake's
Best I Ever Had, 2009.
Yeah.
Best I Ever Had was his first big hit.
Yeah. So, and what year? It's 2023. I feel like he still has hits. You know what I'm saying? So
was that 09?
Yeah, 09. So his run so far is about 15 years, maybe. Like, because 2009 to 2019, that's 10 years. And then 20, 21, 22, 23. So
I was just watching now. If we're going to talk about
So Far
Drake,
Gone was 18. Or, sorry, 08. So it's like, I'd say like successful.
I was recently
and best
watching
I
a
ever
video
had.
about the beef between Kendrick and Drake.
I did.
And how
Sean Speed's video?
Yeah, you watched that too?
It popped in my feed. I almost watched it. What were we saying?
But no, just how Drake kind of brought him on, like on tour with him, and then they just kind of like been dropping subliminals on each other's for years. And someone asked him directly if they would ever like be nice, or ask Kendrick directly if they'd ever do something together. He just like, this is something really people are interested in. Just like, we're two very different kind of artists. And then he was just like, well, I'm not interested in that. I'm like, damn, he really just not like this, man.
They did one song together.
How did they do fucking Problems together?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about the In the Thundering Rain. Remember that the Janet Jackson? Poet, that sound like Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
Yeah, Poetic
Justice. Even then, that's the best type of song Kendrick and Drake could have done together. You know what I mean? Like, like the love song, but maybe we're gonna get a little more intricate about it. Like, yeah.
But yeah, it sucks because like you'd want Kendrick with them on something like first person shooter mode, but because Kendrick's not fucking with Drake, we're not going to get that. We're not gonna get them collabing, probably.
Maybe they could have brought out the best of each other. Who knows?
Is it because Drake doesn't mess with him? I feel like Kendrick's laid back.
No, I feel like Drake compliments him all the time, like on shows and interviews. Like Kendrick hasn't said shit about him in years.
What did you do to make Kendrick mad? That's
Kendrick not fucking Drake.
What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Okay.
The thing that trips me out is that J. Cole fucks with both of them, but J. Cole seems like the one who's like laid back and very like. I think J. Cole is the one who can play in both worlds.
He's the middleman.
In the mainstream, he mostly plays in like.
He's the middle everything. He's the middle child. Didn't he have a song about it?
Yeah, he had a song with like Rick Ross recently, didn't he? Recently, I think. That was a very different kind of flow for him.
But I like how J. Cole, repping North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? But being the kind of like, maybe I don't need to be this side or that side. Maybe I can be my own man, like.
Yeah, he used to make like the club type beats or the more commercial types.
I remember music, when that was his bag.
Like more conscious stuff.
Yeah, and it's conscious, but with like not pretentiously. I feel like they're like a lot of the backpack blog era type of stuff. It's like we don't do any mainstream pop because that's that mainstream stuff and that's selling out. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like J. Cole is one of the guys going like, hey, we're all humans and having fun here. These people are just thinking more about this. So let's be the bridge. Let's get on songs with 21 Savage. Let's get on songs with, you know what I'm saying? All my life,
Right.
Who's the rapper that Cole interviewed who's like, hey, bro, you like the young one now and you got to carry the torch?
It was Lil Pump.
Yeah. Whoa, remember that name? He's over here trying to spit.
He was trying to reach out. See, that I consider that a good nexus point, right? Where he's like, hey, guys.
Let's ask each other this, because I feel like we moved away from it. But would you guys classify mumble rap as its own era? Or was it not long enough to be considered an era?
I think it is
I would put mumble rap. under trap. Like we wouldn't have mumble rap without trap.
Yeah. Like and it's more of just an insult.
And do you think mumble rap's still alive?
I mean, it came alive at the end of this era and bled over to so I think
what would we call new era? Yeah.
So yeah, into our current era. Because that like 12 to 18, that was like trap, internet, backpack, collab era. It was a very homogenized, diverse era. So and this might actually lead into a question I have for y'all. So I'd say mumble like it shot out from trap, and because everything is a lot more like constantly evolving in nature with the genre. And that's how we got a lot of independent artists, because artists can be more independent and are a lot more accessible through like SoundCloud, Bandcamp, DatPiff.
So you think we're in the indie era, maybe? A true indie era,
I think we're getting into it now, and it definitely started with those internet rappers where it's like, oh, I can make my own beats and sell them for money, or I can make my own songs and make money off it. And that's how careers are kind of being born, because all these conversations about industry plants and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say they don't exist, because there's like Coyle Ray has industry connect through her dad, like you don't see it as often because more people are learning about like 360 deals, more people have internet access. So you're either doing something for a burst of fame, because internet fame can be just as fast and just as fleeting, which you can do to build a career.
So we still have that one hit wonder,
we still have one hit
the Vine TikTok rap,
Yeah, like you're gonna have Vine, TikTok, because that's what happened with Ice Spice, and I like Ice Spice, but that she blew up off one song, and because she's fine, undeniably, and she's made a whole career off it. She had a song with Nicki Minaj on her second two songs with Nicki Minaj. One of them is in like a mainstream $1 billion making feature film.
Yeah, but I got a question. I do have a question.
She also did a song with Taylor Swift.
That's true enough. Do you think Drake can last the 20-year run the way LL Cool J did it? Do you think it's possible?
I think he can.
You think he's got 5 more years in him?
Yes, but not because of rap fans. He's cultivated a fan base of dick riders. I'm sorry, and then fans outside of rap that like Drake.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing also about Drake though. He does do his pop thing, which is like, I wouldn't say it's cheating, but like he's trying to he's accessing.
He's making
a wider variety of fans. But he's also doing this thing where he's like, where people will stick to their style or like have some semblance of evolution. He's trying to see like what's hot right now. What's evolving around.
He's a wave rider for real. He rides. He notoriously ride waves, because that's when we could.
I think that's the problem. He's not an innovator. You can tell he's leading from behind. You know what I mean? Like, because
remember, Hotline Bling came about because of Drum and not Broccoli, but one of his other songs.
Yeah. It was I used to cha-cha.
You wouldn't have Hotline Bling Drake without Drum's cha-cha.
Which was also that glitch core kind of sound. Yeah.
I want to address 2 rappers that I feel are underrated. And as far as they're really good rappers, but they're not getting that mainstream popularity. And what do you guys thoughts on them? One being Corday and the other being JID. I feel like JID's gotten bigger, but I feel like he's not Drake like radio play all the time kind of big. You know what I'm saying?
I think Corday has lost me in terms of like, I feel like his stuff doesn't have the same fire in it that it did the last time I remember listening.
That first album, Lost Boy, was a great album, but he hasn't held up to that standard.
Yeah, so the energy doesn't feel there. But with JID, I think the energy is more than there. I think he's hopping and skipping and jumping all over the records. I feel like there is a way to, and follow me here, Eminemify what he's doing in a way that can because Eminem was really lyrical back then. When he had the big hit songs and the Hi My Name Is and you only joke around with your friends inside your living room. The only difference is I got the balls to say it in front of y'all, and I ain't got to be false or sugarcoated at all. I just get on the mic and spit it, and whether you like to admit it or I just did it better than like that was sing-songy, but it was still flowing his ass off. I think if JID is able to get in the studio with some sort of motherfucker who can really go, hey, you know how to really make these hits? You can still be lyrical. I'm not saying you can't do that, but wrap it around a nice hook. You know what I mean? Like,
there was one that Dance Now. That was the one I played for you.
That was one I was like, okay.
That is a great example of exactly what you're talking about.
I thought he was good on Enemy with was it Imagine Dragons?
Oh yeah, that was exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, okay, you can do this. Like, yeah.
To address your point, I do like Corday. I need to see more for Corday. You know who Corday reminds me of? Vic Mensa.
Ooh,
had a time in the life and it got snuffed.
And it's like, the thing about it is, it's like Vic Mensa, Vince Staples, another guy that I feel like they're so themselves.
I think I talked with you about this, DJ. Vince Staples could be on par with Cole. I don't think he cares enough to do it.
Yeah, and it's like
he just doesn't. It's like, it's the guy where it's like, you could be the king and rule this entire land. You're that powerful. It's like, I don't really feel like it though. He hides his power.
Who could be on par with Cole, you said?
Vince Staples. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's like the king who, because he doesn't want to be king, that's why you know he should be.
Bro, you could rule all of this, and he chooses not. He just chooses to do taking side missions and shit, going on Abbott Elementary and like insecure. He should be like, you know what? I'm gonna kick it with Zach Fox on Abbott Elementary, and then just like you go and listen to his music, like this is phenomenal, and then you're just like, what? Why doesn't he do more? I guess that.
Like, promote
Vince
your
is
shit.
too powerful to a point of not giving a shit, which is a great place to be in your career, but it doesn't make well for like a mainstream crossover. Because Vince Staples is the last person I would ever expect to tell anything. I couldn't tell him what he should have for dinner tonight and think that he would listen. He could ask my opinion and be like, "Hey man, what should I eat for breakfast this morning?" It's like some cereal. Fuck you, and just like that's what he would say because he's real like that, and I respect him and his artistry.
You know what all of this is? Here's the thing about this hip hop shit. It's all trying to be real. Every decade is trying to be more and more hyper real about like what this music is. In the 90s, what felt real relative to what was going on before was doing the hyper gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe actually there was the PM Dons. You know, we had the political rap. Let's get real about what's happening in society. You know what I'm saying? Then I feel like, you know, now we're in the past 10 years with the hype beast era, it was like, oh my God, XXXTentacion is really doing that shit. Oh my God, so-and-so is really Love Sosa. You know, that guy is really gangsta. You know what I'm saying? It's that sort of, oh, you can see it because we caught it on the IG. Like, he's really about to go up and smack this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's not like an image anymore. And then I feel like, oh yeah.
I want to say something because there's a song that came out recently that I showed Will, but I thought it was interesting because it's like it's rapping about like modern things, I guess, or maybe it's like something that's been in rap for a while. But remember that song, that Cha-Cha song that I sent you, Will?
Yeah,
like the guy rapping on like he's like a 90s type flow, but it's like
dude that was freestyling. There was a dude that freestyled over the Cha-Cha slide that Aaron sent me on TikTok, and we gotta show him a little bit. Yeah, people are kind of laughing about it, and I'm not gonna deny that it's not funny. I
didn't see your reaction to this.
Yeah,
what's his name? Okay,
I'll play it for you. I'll play it for you real quick.
The modern era.
Is it Zeddywill?
Is the Zeddywill? Hold up, I'll pull it up right now.
Oh, well, I think I got it.
Yeah. So, hold up. I got it too. Here it is.
Yeah, let's put it. Wait, DJ, just wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
I need your live react.
Oh my God, that Cha-Cha joint. This is something new for y'all. Now, this ain't nothing new for me. You heard the beat before, but you ain't hear me rap on it. I'm about to show y'all a little something. Look. Here we go. Y'all don't like to dance? Come on, do the cha-cha. Shorty Spanish, shorty like to call me Papa. True fact, everything I do, they call it Flocka. All they do is copy me, I call them Waka. She keep worried about my hoes, I had to block her. Had to kick off the list, I'm playing soccer. Why you acting Jamaican? You not even the roster. If you really a Jamaican, make the pasta. I'm just a nigga, everybody catch a vibe with. Stay out the way, cause I don't like to be in nonsense. You talking about me, then you worry about the wrong shit. If I put you on a song, it'll be a long disc. I'm thinking long term, talking about the full list. But if we talking right now, you make the pull list. Facts. It's time to switch the flow. Now I heard you talk to bro. Bet you thought I didn't know. It's okay, you not a hoe. Cause I did the give and go. I don't want this convo to end till you introduce me to your friend. If you ask me which one, it depends. I'ma pick the one who is a 10. So you gotta like lay all the girls out, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pick which ones you want. Alright, I'm gonna do this. So I think I want you. Wait, no, I want you. Wait, no, I want you and you. So I can have you and you. Oh my God. Why this so hard? Just came up with a thought. I just take all of y'all. Should have said that from the start. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Never mind, I don't need no breaks. Always making movies, always making tapes. I'ma have to call up Take, cause he gonna make the lace. You never met a black person if you hate the race. That's my mistake. I meant to trip to Greece. And you know I'm about to pack a bunch of polo tees. I was still waiting on the blow up, like Joe to see. Wanna take over the world just like Hov and B. If you go against me, you gon' go and see. I'ma skip all of the letters straight to the G. I'm not saying I'm a gangster, but like I can get on some G shit. Like, you know, never mind, I won't explain myself. Heard you selling bad weed, why you say yourself? Only one up in the club, yeah, I came myself. Yeah, I came myself, but I'm leaving with some. Yeah, my name is Zeddywill. I ain't leaving with nothing. Ended up with 2 girls. What you thought I was bluffing? Yeah, I bought y'all a bottle, but what you thought I was cuffing? Damn. They thought I was about to cuff them because I bought them 2 bottles. Casamigos. I did good. Let's clap it up. Hey. Oh, I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming.
Yeah, that's basically it. But I think that builds up even to another point off what you were saying, Aaron. We're entering an interesting era of meme rap. Because remember Glorb that I've sent you before, bro?
Oh, wait. Not even, but fuck that. I got to shout out, what's that Krusty Krab, the Krusty Krew joint. You heard that one, right, Aaron?
I think that's Glorb, the one
no,
with like
it's not Glorb, because Glorb is just doing AI voice thing.
Yeah.
This guy was actually doing the voice. The Krusty Krew.
Oh.
Aaron, have you heard? Wait, brand new bag for Pearl, but I didn't pay for it.
Hey, yo.
You ain't heard that one? Wait, we gotta play that one. But just to end how I feel about the thoughts, because like think about it, music's gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go beyond whatever we think is gonna be next, right? Let me send you the link. How can I send you? Can I send it in here?
What's it called? I can just look it up.
Yeah,
DJ,
Krusty Krew Anthem. Huh?
What'd you think about the song that we just played? The Cha-Cha?
That was fucking dope as shit. But what it reminds me of.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Cut out.
Frozen real time.
Frozen real time. Oh shit. He's about to go in. He's about to cook.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with it. It is reminiscent of like the 90s and the 80s, which I was like, this is different for like, this is not how people are rapping right now, and I thought it was interesting. It was fun.
To be able to rap on like weird beats does take its own sort of particular okay, he's coming back. He'll be back. Yeah, it does take its own sort of like particular talent, because not every. I mean, I think that's the fun thing with freestyles, because we're also in an era where there's a lot more freestyling. Where you'll like it. Like, there's that video of Tyler James Williams rapping, and he's pretty good at it. But like they throw weird beats at artists to see, it's like, okay, what is your lyrical dexterity? And most of them are pre-written, but like we've.
What would you classify group therapy as?
Group therapy is.
They're diverse. I feel though.
They're diverse, but it's definitely an indie sound. Like they rap like a JID, like not
do your shit, best friend. That was a different kind of flow. That fast
best friend is great. Yeah, them and Fly and a Boss are in similar categories of like young Gen Z rap, I guess is a way I'll describe it. Not in the sense that it's like bad or anything, but it's like it has its own kind of cultural sound to it, where it's like they do creative things, but they're also having fun.
Right. We're getting back to mainstream rap entering a fun place.
Because that's been my biggest issue. My argument has always been, and I'll stay on this hill until people start to prove me wrong. And a couple people have. There's one recently that gave me a giggle that I sent you. Women rappers pick better beats on average. So I tend to listen to more women rappers because their beats are more entertaining too. Like that Everybody song that Nicki Minaj has. You can't tell me that's not a fun ass sample.
It's a fun ass song.
That's a fun ass song. Like, I love Meg. I mean, I think she's a very talented like lyricist. It's not crazy deep, but she does really well with like metaphors and wordplay and things like that and imagery. So that's why I really like her. But she picks good beats most of the time. That Crybaby beat was ass. But a couple beats I'm like, yeah, that one sucked, but you're good enough rapper to make it work, but it's not my favorite thing. But it's like on average, you know, for like Ice Spice, she picks some peculiar beats. Like Bikini Bottom definitely has a weird ass beat where I'm like, oh, you couldn't clear that sample,
huh? What's Delhi? That's an interesting one.
I do like Delhi. Delhi is definitely a that's for sure a Pop Smoke beat. Pop Smoke would definitely rap on this.
That's another new sub era. At least motherfuckers from New York. Because
well, and that's just New York drill. And drill, you know, I don't think we have because we have New York drill and British drill, which I think
British drill starting to come over to the States more too.
Yeah, British drill has come over more. New York drill has gotten bigger. I think those are still just children of trap. They're just more exposed.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are still like trap offshoots. Yeah, the only thing I can really call group therapy and like Fly and Boss is like independent because Gen Z just has. Is it Gen Z? Yeah, Gen Z because Gen Alpha is like current babies. They have like their own kind of production sound, a vibe that's different if I'm listening to like Nas. I think it's like the beats are like they're either quicker and peppier or they're more, I don't know. They pick things that are a lot more different than they don't really have. Like if you listen to, I love Group Therapy's album that they put out.
Same.
They don't, no two songs really sound alike. Like Nasty doesn't sound like Do Your Shit Best Friend, doesn't sound like one of the other songs off the album. They all are
very diverse. I really like it. I think one of my other favorites.
It's a diverse catalog versus maybe like a Smino. And Smino's really good. All the Dreamville is really good.
Yeah, would you say? Nah, because I feel like Young Money was really big. It was really taking over back in the late 2010s or early 2010s. I don't feel like Dreamville's to that level that Young Money was.
Well, okay. I will argue Dreamville is more successful has more successful artists than Young Money ever did. Young Money had 4 successful-ish artists: Lil Wayne, Nicki, Drake, and Tyga. And Tyga is it's like Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki, Tyga's here. The rest of Young Money.
True. Yeah, what the fuck happened to the rest of them? Because we have these artists that we grew up with, and a lot of them fell off. Like, whatever happened to Lloyd, bro? Where's Lloyd at? Was he part of Young Money?
I think so. Lloyd was definitely. I think he was around before Young Money, but he definitely he was on Bedrock. I'm almost certain. But like,
do you know when Drake he left Young Money and started October Zone?
I think he started while he was at Young Money, but he still had contractual obligations. That's how we got. It was like 2 albums after Nothing Was the Same.
Oh, okay.
It was Scorpion. I think was his last album under Young Money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When did OVO start? Damn, this shit has a lot of producers.
Is 21 on OVO? Yeah, right.
I don't think so. That was Care Package. Yeah, Dark Lane demo tapes in 2020 was OVO. He founded it in 2012, so he would have still been under Young Money.
Oh, okay.
So they're currently, their distributors are through Republic.
Oh, Epic Records. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're good to go.
Did you hear the song? Did you hear the song?
No. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, pull up that song while I'm making the ultimate point. Basically, I feel like the future of hip hop is going to be, because music's going to keep going on beyond what we could ever expect. But I think what's going to happen, just like with all genres that came before it, right? It's like, what's the future of hip hop? Is it going to like fade away? Is it going to be just the way it is? I think there's going to be a new genre that we're not going to fucking see coming, and somehow it's going to be incorporated into that, like in a weird way that we're not going to like be able to comprehend until 20 years later. We look back and go, hey, wait a minute, wasn't that basically a new level of hip hop? When fucking K-pop and some motherfucker from Brazil and some motherfucker comes together and creates whatever that new fucking sound that's just gonna be so different, but so tied into what came before, but so not of it that it's gonna be the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think what's really in store for hip hop is like, it's never just like with jazz and rock, like it's never gonna go away. It's gonna be like right under the surface bumping of what the next thing is. Like, shit, I was just listening to, what's that new Kenny Mason song? It was like that rock rap joint with Paris, Texas. That shit sounded so fucking heavy.
I have heard, yeah, that thing slaps.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah. Really mixing up the genres, you feel me? But it's gonna be, lots of fun, silly shit, motherfuckers doing whatever the fuck they are. And like what Mos Def said back on his Black on Both Sides albums, like hip hop's gonna be where the people are, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, however well the people are doing, or however bad the people are doing, that's where hip hop's gonna be. That's why I personally feel, But it's also gonna be a lot of fun, jokey shit. So including this shit that we gotta show you right now. You got that clip pulled up?
I got it pulled up. Let me share this real quick, and then okay. Aaron, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
Okay, let's give it a look at Krusty Krew anthem back on.
Now you might have to skip a couple of seconds in. You know,
we had this.
Call me crazy, but I think this is going to be in the future of hip hop. I
absolutely believe it.
The embracing of not just image for the sake of, this is the image because I'm real, because I'm hard. No, but the understanding that all things are, different coats that we put on, blah, 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 and being able to embrace the theatricality of musicianship and all that shit, and not having it be tied to, well, you can only do this sort of shit if you're real, and that's exactly who you are. It's like, no, let's understand that, like, art is a thing, and motherfuckers can embody different facets of their personalities, you know what I'm saying? Now, you could definitely do it in a way that's whack, and you can do it in a way that's convincing, as we have seen time and time again with guys who, were hardcore rappers, but then it turned out they weren't actually that hardcore, but they knew how to sell that to you, versus guys who, MC Hammer, hey, maybe he was a hardcore dude, but he didn't really know how to put that in music to make you really believe that, you feel me? Right. So I think in this era, we're coming to the Gesamtkunstwerk of the whole shit, of like realizing that, like, wait a minute, we can do all this shit as long as it's done well, as long as it's done dope. You know what I'm saying? You can do the SpongeBob rap. Like 20 years ago, like that wouldn't have gotten taken seriously. But today, the guys who did that rap could probably have a career. They could probably do some more. Hey, I want to do a fucking Johnny Bravo rap. Yo, I might make this my fucking thing. It's just cause meme rap, but we're playing into it and having fun with it. And on top of that, really imbuing that with not intentionality, but like committing to the bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really commit to what a SpongeBob Krabby Patty rap would sound like. And like, there you have that type of joint,
Because it becomes its own subgenre of sorts. Because it's based in a weird way. It's like a modern, like almost Lovecraftian evolution of nerdcore, where it's like you take things that are known about whatever it is you're kind of lampooning or parodying, but taking it seriously. So, and I'll give another example because you just reminded me of this. SSJ9K, who does rap battles between like Dragon Ball Z characters and other fictional characters. So it'll be like the Mandalorian rap battles, like Piccolo.
Or a couple of years ago, I saw somebody.
Epic Rap Battles in History does this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is, it's like it's done well. So it's like, all right, if it's funny, then it rocks. Like if it works, then it rocks.
SSJ, I'm like, it works because, like, I mean, he knows enough about the characters and the worlds to make them like, oh, if they're having a rap battle and you're insulting them, they're short.
Knows enough about flow and how to rap to make it feel like a real song and not just a joke novelty.
It's not corny.
Part of the joke is the committing to the bit that they did. They're like, oh shit, you really went whole hog. Like I'm trying to make this sound like a real joint. Like,
like you know something about it. And that's why a lot of epic rap battles of history work, because it requires the knowledge about the historical figure. And it informs the.
But they also have to have flow to make the punchlines work and really make it feel like, oh shit, that was actually a punchline that a rapper would say.
It doesn't feel disingenuous either. Like it feels like, oh, okay, like the guys that do epic rap battles, they aren't out here trying to be like, they're not doing like gangster rap like Biggie or Pac. But if it's like, oh, you know what, we're gonna do like Gangsta Martin Luther King or Gangsta Gandhi. It's like, because it's a rap battle, that's part of like the nature is it being real. The reality.
And also, but the reality is, in a rap battle, is two people trying to look at each other up and down and be like, how can I fucking like read your fucking?
It's
you know
like,
what I
if
mean?
it's a rap battle, it's about particular things to that person. It can't be generic things.
Yeah, so the rap battle is committing to the bit of like, how would these historical figures actually have gone at each other? Like, you know,
you have to commit to it in order for it to work. Because rap battles, by their nature, require some knowledge or understanding of your target.
So
now we're at this place where you kind of take the battle out of it and you kind of open it up. And it's like, okay, what if I take that same mentality but apply it to like the character? So it's like, oh, I'm rapping about like Gohan picking up girls while flying on the Nimbus.
Or I'm rapping about Alexander Hamilton in the 1700s, but I'm leaving out the part about where he owned slaves.
The hip-hop slave master. But they committed just enough to it. Where they made you be like, hey, but these rapping slave masters are flowing, though. And it made $1 billion. When you follow through on the committing to the bit,
people will go along with it, like essentially,
So there's something we're not addressing though. There's this because first of all, I want to say I really enjoyed that song that you played.
Yes, that was actually very entertaining.
But there's this artificially intelligent elephant in the room.
Yes,
that's going to start having a lot more prominence within music.
Well, that's what Glorb is.
Very true.
That's what Glorb is.
So well, but wait a minute
about him at first.
But see, that's why I would actually buck back, because I feel like at the end of the day, people make music for people, right?
Yes.
They're not making music for machines. So when people feel that something doesn't feel real, they're gonna be like, is this really that? And that's what I feel sticks out about the Glorb versus that guy making the Krusty Krew rap. It's like both are hot, sure, but you can tell which one is really like, oh shit, they actually really, you know?
I think there's two things. One, I feel like because there's a lot of people that are talented out there that don't have the voice or the know-how to, or more so the voice, to present what they have in their heads.
The access.
They're called writers. Yes. They're called ghostwriters traditionally.
Ghostwriters. And then
Partisan Fontaine is a ghostwriter. He's a famous ghostwriter. I didn't even know that. Yeah. He wrote for Beyonce. I didn't know that shit.
Yeah.
Who's a ghostwriter?
Megan Thee Stallion's ex-boyfriend. Partisan Fontaine. Remember the guy that did Backing It Up with Cardi B?
He was a ghostwriter before he started making music himself.
Yeah, he's not a ghostwriter. He's just a writer. But it's like I didn't know. Here's the thing: I don't know anything about his career other than 2 songs. That and a song that blew up on TikTok. It was like, "You a black girl, you a black girl, you a black girl, do your thing." Which I'm like, but other than that, it's like,
what I was gonna say was I don't think AI is going to take over music per se, but I feel like it's going to be a subgenre in addition to where things are headed as well. Because obviously, AI is getting smarter every day. So, granted, we had that one song that was like the cover or like the ghostwritten version of a Weeknd and Drake song that came out last year.
Yeah,
it wasn't horrible.
It wasn't.
I'll say it was awful. So I'm like, and that's just when AI is starting to come into prominence this year. I feel like there could, and then we're also seeing a lot of people on TikTok making songs like old 90s songs with Vegeta and Goku's voice, with SpongeBob and Plankton's voice.
With Eric Cartman's voice. And they're funny. There's gonna be a point where, because even I was thinking about it the other day, I'm like, can you imagine how
I think
wild?
intellectual property is just going to keep that from being too big of a thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if it does happen, it's going to be like we got permission from blah 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 to have what sounds like a verse from Squidward on the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because I think Glorb songs are on. There's going to be a weird thing going on with parody and copyright very soon.
Yeah.
Because I think Glorb songs are available to stream. So Glorb is listed as an artist, but the voices you can tell are definitely like
but
AI
is it
generated.
parody? Like, I understand, because here's the thing: the Krusty Krew rap, that's parody. That's a human being imitating the voices of Krusty Krab in order to sound like what a rapper who's doing the Krusty Krab voice would do. The AI is taking its knowledge of the original
it's machine learned
So is that parodying it, or literally just ripping it off and making using the materials to make? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that's going to be your legal debate, essentially. Is like, does it still qualify as parody if I'm using accessible technology to make Tom Kenny sound like he's trapping out the pineapple?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess in the same way, this is what I would say.
It's gonna be a weird time. Like, it's entertaining right now. I think that both types of songs are very entertaining. I was listening to Glorb the other day when I was in the shower, because I'm just like, these songs still kind of bump.
This is the way I feel about it. It's like, when people say you can use an original work, but as long as you like transform it enough for it to be a different enough thing. I feel like in the same way, if you just did, what The Weeknd and them did this year with the fucking, I'm just gonna remake, what was the name of that? So,
I know what you're talking about. I don't wanna know.
Yeah, I don't wanna know. I feel like whatever the intellectual version of when you guys just remade this song and just made the exact same song, that's whack and that's lame. And if you did that without getting permission from the original people, you should be sued into oblivion. However,
I think that's the new trend, though. That's at least we're like 20 years from now, but like I think this next era of hip hop, especially with with that song, with the Everybody sample that Nicki just did, with the guy who did Cha Cha Slide, we're going back. We're remixing or doing this nostalgic thing with songs from like 20 to 30 years ago.
But it's like, but here's my thing. You can't act as if the reason why you are using the sample is because you are going, hey guys, remember this? Here we go. But I feel like if you mix it up and transform it enough where someone can't tell that is the original, like have you ever heard someone mix up, you've heard like a Kanye beat or something like that where you're like, whoa, I didn't even know that was the original sample when you hear it. I think if you transform it that much, I feel like you can make the case of, well, I'm doing something so new with it. Can we really say that this is just trying to do that?
We're getting into a conversation right now. And I mean to cut you off, Aaron. We're getting into a conversation basically about like sampling, which is since the foundation of hip hop was mixing other things. But it's like you remind me, like Loyalty uses a sample of like 24 Karat Magic. But I think there's a difference between one that I think my favorite flip of this year, and I think I sent it to the both of you, is while the lyrics are kind of meh, I think the beat is really dope, is Money by Young Thug, which samples fucking Monty Python. Of all things. And
I hear this. Wait a minute.
And someone, I'll see if I can find it and send it to y'all.
I remember listening to this.
But sorry, what were you gonna say, Aaron? But it's like we're getting into more of a conversation about like what, because now it's what is sampling somebody, where's the line between sampling, which has always been there in hip hop since the beginning, and what is just like you're just stealing. What is the difference between sampling and theft now that AI is
the difference is P. Diddy and anyone who wasn't P. Diddy in the 90s. That's what I think the fucking difference was.
Take that. You literally said, take that.
Yeah, take that. I'll take that. But yeah, that's how I personally feel. Broken and all. I feel like that. Those are my thoughts ultimately on the hip hop discussion. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
I mean, the last thing I really wanted to get out, y'all. I had a separate question, but I'm probably not gonna do it. Just about just like what y'all thought about like white rappers and like women rappers and the not in the space, but like their evolution in tangent with these periods. I think is its own interesting
that feels like
conversation.
such a huge conversation.
We can have a whole separate conversation built off of like,
man.
especially FD's most recent white rapper video, and I think there's a lot that could be a whole separate discussion.
In my recent video, I'm actually talking about like I didn't do this on purpose, but because what's his name? Jack Harlow, he brings it up in his latest album where he's like,
he does.
He has one song called Common Ground where he does talk about like racial issues in a way that's like, oh, he actually seems like he kind of gets it. But then when it comes to himself, and there's this other song where he's like, it's some song called It Can't Be. It's like, oh, it can't be my, cool voice. It can't be the cool, the way that I've done everything. It must be my skin, right? That must be the only reason I win. Am I right? And it's kind of like oh, dude, stop acting like, you know what I'm saying? Like, by being a white dude, like, you're going to get more publicity in the mainstream because, of course, the white kids are going to be like, what? A guy who looks like me who's not halfway ass? Let me check it out. You know what I mean? Like, of course, But, it's like, it's the kind of ego that gets in the way. But I kind of lay it out in the episode. But yeah, I kind of talk a little bit about, like, white rapper stuff too. But,
yeah, that'll be that,
my own specific way.
How some white kids' favorite rapper is Eminem to justify the fact that they're not racist.
Yeah. I don't usually listen to hip hop, but which is funny because no one says it about Logic, despite.
No, I don't think he wasn't able to make that.
Okay, so my last question for us to, I think, close out the episode for was of the eras that we went through, and I'll go back through them again to remind y'all in a sec. What would you say was the best era, and what was your favorite era? So the eras we came out with was 73 to 79, the Proto Era, 80 to 85, the Gold School, Old School era, 86 to 89, the Silver School / Personality era, 90 to 93, the Gangsta era, 94 to 2000, the Southern Jiggy Hustler era, 2000 to 05, Crunk, 06 to 11, Chiptune Ringtone era, and then 12 to 18 was the trap and backpack rap era, and then 18 to now, the present. I'll say the indie era, I guess we'll tentatively call it.
Honestly, if I were to just jump out the bando with it, I would just say that I feel like art is always getting better in a certain way, where it's like we can see the seeds of things that are like, oh wow, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have this, but we're always standing on the giants of what came before us in a way where, like, I'm looking at each era and I'm just going, well, I don't know, but then they improved on that, and I don't know, but they kind of improved on that. And like even with the Crunk era that we're kind of like being a little bit, begrudging to, but it's like there was still like beyond just the club bangers, there was dope, like, that's where we got the Lupe fiasco. That's where we got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
early Kanye. That's where we got my little brother.
Exactly, absolutely. So there was still that indie like groundswell that was there that kind of became the thing that we could jump off to today to have that level of the LPs, you know what I'm saying?
Like that Crunk Millennium Era. But
So I'm just, and so by the time we get to this new backpack era, I'm just like, I don't know, man. It really does feel like, sure, there's pitfalls and whatnot, but I see the potentials and the greatness and the building off of what came before it in a cool way that I'm like, I got to go with the latest era because it's just so like, there's so much, what diverse. I'm saying, going on. There's so much that was built off of things and so much looking forward, so I'm like, that's what I got to say,
So if that's your best, what would you say is possibly your favorite? Because I know you've been listening to that.
If it's my favorite, if we're going back into my heart, then I'd probably go with either the 90 to 93 era, because I think it's so fascinating that like flip over and seeing, the in the middle, in between of like, you got Redman, you've got Eric, Wu-Tang Clan, you got all that new blood coming up, but then you've still got the Kid and Plays, the MC Hammers, and all of that's playing together in this weird thing from 90 to 93 that I think is so fascinating. You know what I'm saying? So that would probably be like favorite era if I had to choose.
Okay. Aaron, what would you say is your, and I'll go after you, what you say could be the best, and what would be your favorite of the roster?
That's hard. Best and favorite. Okay. I would say probably that mid 90s era could be the best.
Okay.
Just because I feel like that's a lot of That's so hard.
I know.
That's so hard.
That's
Right?
why.
That's so tough.
Because
I just
94
feel
to
like
2000 was a pretty big groundswell of shit happening, right? You've got
also
the playing out of the Wu-Tang Clan of all of those albums, right? That come from 93 to 2000, like that era of dominance of the Wu, right?
I'd have to go 93 to 2000 because I feel like
Mm.
that's such a one such a big umbrella,
Mhm.
and there's all the players within that era really inform how things are today. And I
Mm.
feel like
Mm.
because of like from like gangster rap and conscious rap and then like the more fun rap, you know, I feel like all of those in that sandbox really kind of are the mold. Granted, I think the entire thing has been the mold, but I feel like
Yeah.
the clearest lines from there to now in that era.
It's the
But if
most
I had to think-
modern, right? Like, because I feel like before that, everything does have that bit of something doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying? That I could just be listening. When you're in the 80s, things still feel a little dusty, a little craggy, you know, production wise.
right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's and then the era you're talking about is that main transitionary period. But I think if I had to pick my favorite era, that's so tough. Fuck, I guess just because I grew up in that era, maybe like the 2010s era, the ringtone era.
Okay.
I think grew up
So like
in
06 to
that era.
11, like chiptune ringtone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would say that era could be my
Post crunk pre-trap.
Pre-Post Malone.
Yeah.
We're Chance and Gambino and Drake and J. Cole, all of them are coming up because those are like the people I listen to. Probably my more frequent rotation. So I'd have to say that's my favorite era.
Yeah, and I guess to answer my own question, I would say I think I'm actually pretty close to you, Aaron. The best for me would definitely be that. I guess it's a bit of. I'd say it's the golden hybrid era of 94 to 2000, where you had the rise of the South, you had Jiggy music, you had hustler music, you had the soul Aquarian, you know, Hotep, like Earth music. So it's like that was like very much I'd say the best just because it was so diverse in terms of sound. So it's like you listen to Nas, Biggie, Pac as different aspects of like gangsta, but then you could listen to Outkast and have like that, you know, hometown chill, like the production style was different, you know, and everything. Then you got like hustler music. It was just such a very diverse time for the genre where while people were rivaling up until especially like in the wake of like Biggie and Pac's deaths, there, you know, new rivalries breeding innovation. So people were trying and doing new things because of like now it's competitive now, which is now I think I would argue the fifth pillar or a modern pillar of hip hop is now the notion of competition, not from a place of like animosity, or at least I don't think it should be from animosity. It should be from like sport, where it's like these are your peers
for sure,
and you compete because you respect them. When you take it too far, that's when you get into like actual.
I like that. You compete because you respect them, so you're giving your best, and then it's like, well, what's your best? You know?
Yeah, like and this actually will feed into my answer for my favorite, which is the trap backpack era from like 12 to 18. I think one of the standout hallmark moments of that was Kendrick's Control verse. That was a game changer moment, particularly during that era. I love that era, not just because there's like a lot of great hype beast music and a lot of like fun albums, but I loved the spirit of collaboration. So I think that era, funny enough, is kind of the sequel to that 94 one, where there was still, I'd almost say it's almost kind of the antithesis. 94 to 2000 was like a competitive era where that bred innovation. This was collaboration breeding innovation, where it's like, well, we don't want to work for anyone, but we still want to make our music and do our own thing, our own way in this internet era. So like, I'm gonna put my music out, and whoever listens, that's my fan base. And so you have artists working together with other different artists doing like different sounds, and that's persistent. Like, it's not that we never had that, but it was like those were like there were few and far between versus now when you look at an EP to the point things have switched where it's like you used to get an album and it was just the artist, and then you get a feature here or there.
Well, you know what's interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to talk about like sort of going back to like Crush Groove. I remember watching that movie and thinking about like that movie was like, this is how hip hop worked in 1984. This is how you get a record out. You have to go down to a local place and get like 10,000 copies of this and hope to sell them locally. And it's like, wow, looking at that now, it's like, that's a foreign thing. I upload my track to the internet and then I blast it on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's totally new now. Like it's not only has the music changed, the conduits through which we deliver the music has changed. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that fascinating? Like, so how that's affected things too, you know?
Yeah, so it's like we
hear certain artists really connect or collab. That we haven't heard certain people connect and collab since that era. Like Chance and Gambino, but obviously both their careers have taken much different paths, but their collabs were like 10 years ago during that era.
That was also the era of hip hop collectives. So we wouldn't have ASAP Rocky, formerly YBN Cordae, you know, all of Odd Future and its immense like talents that bore. Good music was also, you know, a facet of that. We had like Young Money, like we were talking about between calls. It's like that was the hip hop collective era too, like which the progenitor of that is like Wu-Tang, you know, that shadow of a doubt. We wouldn't have those groups without, you know, Wu-Tang and Bad Boy and Death Row, where it's like, oh, we're all under one label united. But then you get to the point where it's like, well, fuck a label. We'll just make music together and we hang out and we're cool. Now, most of those didn't succeed. I'd argue the biggest one was probably Odd Future, but like it was like the era of like, I remember when I was in high school, rappers that I liked, I would look forward and be like, man, I really want them someday to work with this artist. And they would, like Tech Nine and Snow the Product have several songs together.
Right, yeah.
And those, like, you got a Mexican lesbian rapper and then like this goth punk rapper who has a whole song about how many other famous rappers he's rapped with. And it's a lot. And I think that includes Pac.
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong, but I think that was one of the people he listed that he's like rapped with before. I don't know if it
might have been like one track. It was like, I know they did something. I remember hearing about it.
But it's like Eminem technically has a song with Pac posthumously, but still counts, I guess. But it's like it was
he produced that album for Pac's mom. I think we can count it.
I don't know. It's like I think because I grew up in that era, going from like middle high school to college, so it was very much my formative years. But I like the idea of like you would like there's video of Reggie Watts and Childish Gambino on stage together. Like half of those collabs you just won't see. Honestly, either because of fame or ego, and I missed that. But I think it's starting to come back around now with like, who was it?
Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia doing an album together, you know.
Peggy teaming up. Another, who did Group Therapy collab with? Was it Tia Corinne, I think? On
K Tramine, didn't they do that joint they did together?
But yeah, K Tramine and K Tranada and Amine tied together to make a group. Like but I want more because I want like you're gonna get more interesting things from that. Like, can you imagine if it was like, I don't know, fucking Big Crit and Killer Mike?
Like, I mean, I would like to see J. Cole and Kendrick actually do that album. Like,
we all really want cool. Black Friday. They were, I don't know why. Just do it, man. It's like,
like who's what? Do they need to make hit songs? Like, really? You know what I mean? Just make the fucking album.
You want to know one that stood out to me? I think they've had one or two songs together. Denzel Curry and JID.
Ooh.
They were on a track together. That was a lethal combination.
Okay.
You know, it's like the we have like Kenny Beats with like The Cave in that series, which I think is in its last season now, putting people on new artists, and then you're gonna get the weird collaborations because I'm like, okay, he has a really good ear for like talent. So I wonder if you can connect some of those people with some of those other people and get funky music. Because can you imagine Vince Staples and Doja Cat on the same track?
That would be interesting.
Would that not be some wild shit? Like
and you know what? What was Metro Boomin like movie album. You know what I'm saying? Soundtrack. I think that's a big thing too because I see those every now and then.
Yeah, like the Spider-Man and Black Panther soundtracks are like perfect opportunities for things.
Yep.
And we
The
only
Barbie
get them like
album
once
that just
every
came
couple
out. That's how we got the Nicki, the second Nicki and
the Creed album was another one. That those
because I think that was what's his name? That was J. Cole's label. I think that was
that was Dreamville. The third one was Dreamville. The first two that was Ludwig Göransson, Gambino's producer, because Gambino's on the second album. But that's another one where it's it was like Vince Staples, Janae Aiko, and Childish Gambino are on a song together, doing the theme to Creed.
Hybrid rapper singer, Tizo Touchdown.
Tizo Touchdown, that's another one. He was on Drake's newest album.
I haven't heard that much from him. Yeah, he's on that album though.
I guess he's more singing than rapping, but he does rap as well.
Yeah, like he's good.
His singing sounded really good on that track.
Yeah, albeit he didn't have much, but like a Tizo and Rico Nasty collab would be dope. That'd be right in their wheelhouse. I still want a Scotty and Rico collab because they sound alike. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like there's the possibilities are endless. I just wish artists would take more advantage of it. The closest one I can really kind of think of is as far as like mainstream is like Meg will collab with a lot of random people. Not random, but it's like I wasn't anticipating a song from like you
and Cardi B. Cardi B
does too. Like they both take a lot of side.
Cardi B done like she did like 3 songs with 3 rappers this year. She did the joint with
and they were all good in my opinion.
You know, they were all like dope remixes. She was like fucking Lil Wayne. She's Lil Wayne in this shit, and low key, and motherfuckers ain't even talking about it. Like,
because she was on the Point Me
like,
Too remix.
You know when Lil Wayne will like flip a verse in a way where you're like, oh shit, he actually like really like did something with that. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a rap verse. It was like flipping the original beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was adding something to the song, which I like, because I do like her verse on Point Me Too with the remixes. You know, I've been throwing cat in that Uber Black. Got a bad bitch like Normani. Another one look like Kehlani. I'm like, okay, wait a second.
We trying to flip him. We like Tip and Tani. I'm like, oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly. See how it sticks with you? Because like even the one I'm remembering from Denzel and JID, it's like JID and Denzel, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. It was like the closing verse. I'm like, oh, that's tough. That's a hard part.
But yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we got up out of here?
Yeah, any last thoughts other than like happy birthday hip hop? Any final thoughts before I let them know where you let people know where they can find you at?
I hope hip hop becomes I hope hip hop becomes the next, because hip hop basically was born of bastardizing other genres and making something new of it. So what's going to happen with hip hop is going to be flipping into whatever the new genre that motherfuckers won't respect. You know what I'm saying? For like 20 years until later, 20 years down the line, they're like, all right, actually, maybe we should make documentaries about that genre. You know how it goes. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's get our what is before we get up out of here.
Yeah, I think my last point, and then I can let them know where to find you at. People need to stop worrying about hip hop dying. Its sound is obviously changing in the mainstream. I know people are not huge fans of like Sexy Red or whatever is popular du jour. And it's like, dude, there's going to be somebody that has a sound for you. Highly recommend people like Scotty, SKODI, Group Therapy is another like great up and coming group. Like Aaron said, Tizo Touchdown, JID, Denzel Curry. There's, Anderson .Paak is like, he's not exactly a rapper, but like Vince Staples, stay rapping his ass off. Earl Sweatshirt, like, there's rappers out there rapping. Tyler's newest album, like, there's rappers still rapping. Whether you want it to be like boom bap,
shit, Open Mike Eagle be doing that like really intricate, telling you about his life type of rap. Homeboy Sandman. There's always going to be someone out there. Mega Ran doing the like nerd core, but flipping into his own
mad
sort of
slept
thing.
On. JPEG is for insane people that try. JPEG is the second coming of MF in making Scaring the Hose music. Cut that Peggy off, bro. You're scaring the hose. God damn. But yeah, that's.
But I love his energy.
My last point. But yeah, DJ, where can people find you at, man?
You can find me at, of course, youtube.com/Rap Critic, where I upload my videos. But of course, if you want to see the exclusive stuff that I be uploading, like I'm working on music and podcasts and all that sort of stuff, you can go to patreon.com/Rap Critic. That's where all that is. You can join the Discord to chat with me and fellow fans, or you can go to kofi.com/Rap Critic, where you can make requests of songs for me to review, as well as albums, movies, as well as album streams. I'll be doing like best of a certain artist. If you want to do best of Eminem or best of, I don't know, like an Insane Clown Posse, you want to do best of, or you just want me to like stream an album on my main channel. You know what I'm saying? Make that request, kofi.com/Rap Critic. Get me to act like you want it. That's how you can support me. Yeah.
Dope. Aaron, where can the people find you at, bro?
People can find me at The Real Aaron Alexander on Instagram, and The Real with 2 E's, Aaron Alexander at TikTok, and The Real Rejects YouTube channel.
Bet. And you can find me at my own YouTube channel at Will the Greatest. You can find me on Instagram at Will the Greatest all together, or you can find me on TikTok at Will.the_greatest. Yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Don't forget to leave a question with the hashtag AskAce. Don't forget to like the show, share the show with your friends, review it 5 stars. We will see you guys in the future. I guess by now it'll be 2024. So happy New Year and happy birthday, hip hop.
Happy New Year.